You can animate just about every parameter in Fusion. Here, we'll scale the spaceship using a transform node. To animate an object, position the timeline ruler on the frame where you want the animation to start. Here, we'll set the value for size, then right-click over it and select Animate. This enables Auto Keyframe mode and adds a keyframe on the current frame as shown by the green highlight. Next, move to where you want the animation to end, then adjust the size. A keyframe is automatically added. Below the flow graph, we can click the Play button to see the results. The values between keyframes are interpolated to create the animation. You can set the range of frames for playback by entering a start frame and an end frame. Now the playback loop plays only the range of frames you're working on. This playback range also determines which frames get rendered when you output the composition. If you want to jump to the previous or next keyframe, you can do so by pressing Option or Alt, open bracket, or Option or Alt, closed bracket. Switching to the timeline view shows all the nodes from the flow graph, or just the one you're working on. Clicking the checkbox next to the control will show its keyframes. The white bar represents the current time, and the purple markers are the keyframes. To move a keyframe, select it and drag it to a new position, or press the Delete key to remove it. You can remove all animation from a control and disable Auto Keyframe mode by right-clicking over the name and choosing Remove from the menu. Let's create a motion path for our spaceship. We'll right-click over the Transform node's center controls and choose Animate. Since that automatically adds a keyframe for the start of the animation, we just need to position it where we want it to start. Now we can move to a later time and drag the object where we want it to land. The red line shows the motion path that the object will take. While the motion path controls the position for the spaceship, the Spline Editor controls the acceleration. To see the animation spline, we'll click the checkbox next to its name. Click the Fit button to fit the selected curve in the graph area. The default animation spline is a linear spline. For the motion path, it means the object moves at a constant, steady pace along the path. To add an ease-in, ease-out acceleration, right-click over the keyframe and choose Smooth, or press Shift-S. Now the spaceship takes off slowly, accelerates midway, and then slows down again to land. You can modify the path in the viewer at any time by clicking to add new position keyframes. Since the motion path is independent of the display spline, the acceleration will not change by adding points or smoothing the motion path. Finally, you can add motion blur for an object by enabling motion blur for the specific node. The time ruler includes a display toggle where you can temporarily disable motion blur for the entire composition. This is helpful when you want to quickly preview or render your animation. The buttons above the Spline Editor give you added control over the animation spline to do things like reverse, loop, time stretch, as well as other forms of keyframe manipulation.